My new favorite decoupage technique involves fire, so it's not for the kids. For this project, you will need a wood or cardboard cutout, a napkin, Mod Podge, paintbrush, scissors, and a lighter. Spread out your napkin and lay your cutout on the top to see where you want the design to be. So I've got this 4th of July Patriotic napkin and this truck, both from the dollar store. And I want the red and white to show on the front and the back. So I'm going to cut down the middle of the napkin to shorten it so that I can get the red on both ends of my truck. I also don't want the little United States map cut out to show there on the left-hand side. So I'm going to turn the napkin around and match it up so that you won't be able to tell that there's a seam in the middle. Now separate the layers of the napkin so that you have just the top part with the design on it. Separate these carefully so that you don't tear the napkin. I'm going to set my cutout back on top of the napkin just to make sure of the placement before I begin my decoupage. Looks like I've got it just about right. I'm going to make sure that center seam lines up, everything looks good. So now I'm going to put the napkin away for now, and I'm going to work with 1/2 of my cutout at a time. You might want to do thirds just depending on the situation with your napkin and how big your cutout is. So since my napkin is in 2 parts, I'm going to do this in half. So I'm working quickly and spreading a thin, even layer of Mod Podge. I'm going to find a clean spot on my surface where there isn't any Mod Podge, and I'm going to put my napkin down first, put the design face down, and then you're going to put the decoupage part of your cutout right over the top of it. This way you can see exactly where the placement will be. So work carefully and then press it hard to smooth everything out and make sure it's all adhered. Now do the same thing with the other half of the cutout. Take your time with placement to make sure that you match up the seam very carefully. Now cut off the excess napkin. You don't have to cut it too close to the cutout. I like to turn it over so I can see, and then just loosely cut around all the edges. And then you also want to cut through where there are cutouts within the design, just so you can see where they are when we start burning the edges. Now comes the fun part. Before your decoupage has completely dried, you're going to take a lighter, or in this case I have like a barbecue starter, and you're going to ignite just the edges of that excess napkin, and it will burn against the form or the cutout just perfectly. Make sure that your area is clear when you do this so that there's nothing else that can catch on fire, and it's probably a good idea to do it outside and keep some water close by. Also be careful to keep your fingers away from the flame. As I do this, I'm also getting some smoke marks on the napkin, but I think that this looks cool. It kind of gives it a little bit of an aged look. Be sure and burn out all of the small nooks and crannies of your cutout. Add a layer of Mod Podge on top when you're all finished, and once it's dry completely, you're finished. Please subscribe to my channel for more holiday crafts and other ideas. There's new videos every week, so you don't want to miss one.